Here we go. We will make sure that you aren't, sneezing too long, my friend. Yep. You first forced to... Oh, we are actually getting the value. I kinda like my cards. Let's just go double Overlord. So this forces a Sunfall. And it has to be Sunfall because Lockdown is too weak. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today Esper finally with one of the wildest combos of Standard, because we will be using Lich-Knights Conquest, which lets you sacrifice any number of tokens, artifacts or enchantments and return as many creature cards. And guess what? Overlord, as for impending cost, is an enchantment. That means you sacrifice it and it instantly is in the graveyard, so you can reanimate it as a creature and it enters the battlefield again, so that means you are getting all the value again. And the best part, this is also a Zur deck, because those fit perfectly. Zur can reanimate those Overlords and suddenly for 3 mana they become like a 5/5 with Death Touch, Lifelink and Hexproof. So you actually have 2 different combos in this deck and they work perfectly. And look at this slick mana curve, like we need to see it in action. Oh, and guys, I'm like midway through watching the games while editing and man, they are fire. You want to watch all of them today, so have fun. Their opponent is going second. What? We can go Archive into Swamp, that means we can start with the Overlords, and we can try to hit one creature that isn't Avatar. Oh, this is so good. I should not be taking this. I should absolutely not be taking this. But we have double white, so we should be playing this at some point. I really hope we can hit Zur or Biza. 4 lands. Alright, I'll be honest, those were some decent lands, so I'm actually sad we milled them. But it's fine, it's fine. It's fine. It's just so fine. We need to find a blue mana so we can play the Overlord. I mean, this kind of works. Yep, I want it a lot. Because we can also make tokens for the Conquest. And here's the Overlord just slowly, really slowly pumping the value. And we'll try to fight this. Our opponent is actually a legit control player. Props to him. That takes persistence. Here's the Fountain Port. So we are both Fountain Port enjoyer. And keeping the counter spells, of course. I still think we need to pressure them a little bit. This will get countered. I hope that it will be countered with 3 steps ahead. Like, I cannot imagine a world when this doesn't get countered. Here we go. Here we go. Took you a while, but you got the right play. So we need to keep doing it, and we'll see who is left with cards in the end. Because we need to keep trading 1 for 1 like this, and then whoever has more will kinda be ahead here. Alright. I'm going with this one. It might get countered with no more lives, which is really bad for us, because they can also crack the clue. So that is the perfect scenario, but if they went with this, they shouldn't have no more lives, because you always go with no more lives first. Okay, that explains it, that's fine. And that also means we can go for another Overlord that goes through. Biza. Perfect. Alright, we got some good value. Now we have some stacking Overlords. When Overlord flips, this is a good moment for them to Sunfall. So maybe we keep the Fountain Port? Maybe? We'll see. They're down to 5 cards, so you know what? There is a chance. There is a chance. Biza draws cards, I guess. Let's draw a card. Not the most impressive play, but the fact that we're drawing cards is good enough for me. I should pay myself probably if I expect it to go through, but shouldn't be the biggest difference. Alright, man, then this can get Biza back and get us another card. Those are small value engines you have in the deck that actually can put you way more ahead. Oh my god, every turn the deuce, that hurts so much. However, this is the Sunfall turn. This is the Sunfall turn, so we can reanimate the Overlord. Wish we had, something that doesn't die to Sunfall. Here it comes, as expected. And Biza got exiled. I think we just go with this. Let's see what the top card is. We don't know. If that was a creature, we could go with the Overlord. But here, I think we just go with Biza. I should paint myself again. Alright, new card. And this Overlord is still trying to flip. So this is a problem, because this was our turn to go for a Conquest, get White Overlord, and force them to draw another Sunfall. Which possibly they cannot do. With all the deduce extra cards, all the answers, it's very hard to outvalue them. You can see that we're kinda even. Like, we have 2 cards here, 2 here, so we're actually 6 cards compared to their 6. But that's the problem. With those cards, they got a little bit ahead. This is extremely bad draw. We actually drew 3 dead cards in a row. So let's attack and see what happens. I think probably nothing happens because it's not enough pressure. If something happens, that's good for us because we can get it back. Sure, that's really good. Because that means we can play the Overlord. And by the way, we can go for the Conquest every time they tap out and they don't have counter spells. Alright, you know what? I think we're kinda getting somewhere. Slowly but surely we are getting value. That seems to be trying to fish for a counter spell. By the way, those sleeves are pretty cool. Alright, we get our Biza. Potentially Zur. Yep, now we can choose which one is better one. Zur dies to removal, this also dies to removal, but also draws card. So I think it's a little bit better this way. And we keep the Fountain Port. Alright, you know what? I think we are getting some good value here. And they don't seem to be super like greedy. Well, the deuce and 3 steps, I guess it could be greedy. Alright, they're flipping this, that's fine. Some damage. Demolition Field. Alright, I actually will use it now. Because we don't care about this end step trigger, and if they go lockdown or something, I actually do not mind it one bit, because that taps them super hard. Alright, okay, I mean that's the easy choice. Let's take a Plains. Alright. Moment I know they don't have a sweeper, we just win the game, because we sacrifice everything and we reanimate all the Overlords from the graveyard. And the value we're getting is like 4 cards, Zur, and Overlord, so that should be enough to win. We take the damage. However, right now we don't know if they have counter spells. Whenever you see 5 mana, it's usually 3 steps ahead, but this is 6, so hard to say. Hard to say. Am I ready? Probably not yet. I think we should go with this guy. And we see if that goes through, because we have 1 Overlord here. You basically need to start stacking different types of problems for your opponent. So every turn they are trying to solve the puzzle, and they need perfect card after perfect card after perfect card. And at some point you catch them in their turn when they don't have it. Well, I wish this wasn't countered, but it is. Alright, but that was the first step. Do I want to hit map? Those map tokens are super important. I'm not super scared of Murex yet. Smite? Whale. Whale is really good for them. I don't have Fountain Port, so let's just go with this. This is actually a good play for us. We deny the whale, we got 1 extra card, and now we have Overlord, which forces them to play another removal spell. And suddenly we're actually ahead in cards, and we have more plays. The Fountain Port is something, so they can use Murex into Fountain Port and instantly draw cards for what? 7 mana. So we need to make sure that they always tap, so they never have the 7 mana to get card advantage. Oh man, what a game. Alright, if they attack, I will let it through. This is interesting, right? If I attack, I will get Zur back. I could also play Zur. I think it's good enough. Because that forces a very weird play for them. They might counter it, but that means that maybe Overlord hits. Because this gives hexproof. So now they cannot block anything else. I could also go for this guy. Oh man, this is so greedy. Like, this would be a perfect sun for target. Okay, I think this is how we do it. We get another guy. We try to swing for 10, that's a lot. And they need 2 removal spells to even interact with this. So we will mill 8 cards. We are not in the Jace range of lethal yet. I didn't really see Jace, but that's probably their win con. Alright, and we might get some extra cards, which is nice for the next turns. If they Sunfall, that means we still keep enough cards. Alright, so they will block. No, they... Oh, with mirrors they cannot block. Let's get Zur. And probably the... Oh, we are getting stuff. Nice, nice. That's better than expected. Alright, alright. And look at this. We are actually the control deck right now. They cannot sacrifice anything because they tap the Fountain Port. So that really suggests... what does it suggest? How do you say it? Man, I'm all over the place. The Sunfall. And I'm already planning my turn after the Sunfall. So we can go for a Conquest. Do we have... No, yep. Here it comes. As expected. And they have all the perfect answers every single time for last 12 turns. However, we are trying to run them out of them. This can be countered, right? This is exactly this 5 mana we were talking about. So, is Biza good enough? Man, this will be a little bit rough. I think we need to roll with this. If they have a counter spell, they are just 1 card too good at Magic for us. Yep. You first forced to... Oh, we are actually getting the value. So, is that double Overlord or we want to cycle some cards? I kinda like my cards. Let's just go double Overlord. So this forces a Sunfall. This is way too much value, and they cannot just keep trading card for card. They need to sweep it. And it has to be Sunfall because Lockdown is too weak. Alright, I think this is the best we can do. And now we kinda pray that they don't have Sunfall. That's my strategy. We have Triumph, we have Lockdown, so we can try to... Oh, and we have the Harvester, so we can actually try to kill tokens so they cannot block. And this is the big turn. Our opponent needs to swing the game in their direction completely. 5 mana. I honestly expected 3 steps ahead, but man, I guess there are only 22 cards. Like, I'm already in my... What? I told you, I thought they have it, but it's actually extremely above average. They drew 3 of them in 24 cards, so that's way more than normally. And they decide... So that means they have a Sunfall, right? Otherwise, this play doesn't make any sense. Please, show us, don't keep us. No way. And if they don't have it, they lost. They can't outvalue this. Why would you not counter it? Okay, I have no idea, guys. I really don't know. So, instead, we want to get rid of this guy, because that gives them... Oh, but... They will draw a card. I can cancel this. So if I try to hit it, and they actually are going around it. This is a lot of damage. So I get more damage, so this is 8-14, not enough to win yet. And I think it's still full swing. They only have 1 token, and that means they also cannot get another one. And that's already 8 damage, so let's see what they have. This is the last card they have. Man, I'm scared. They have something. Whale. The Whale of Absolute Doom. So I can negate it, or I can use this to kill it when they play it for 6 mana. I mean, this should be good enough. That also means we got the trigger, so the moths will end the game. And now we know for sure they actually don't have anything anymore. So this is 8 damage and 12 damage on the neck. And this is exactly what we talked in the early game. You need to force them to have answer after answer, and at some point they might not have to have enough. I should probably go with Biza in case they hit Lockdown or something. Because we can Lockdown and get rid of this. Like, I'm not sure, we are just trying to play a little bit more, so every threat isn't exactly the same token. Oh my god, so good at Magic. They also wasted a card with Fountain Port. which is a really big deal. Well, I have to say with this actually really helps them. I cannot imagine they actually drew it. It's fine, it's fine. So first we attack with Biza. And we try to get this extra damage, because they still need to keep drawing like perfect answers for like 3 turns straight. Sure. If they block, they don't get the card, and we can develop the board even more. I don't want to waste Harvester because it's an extremely strong card, and we can just play it. Doesn't kill Biza, we get the value. They might play Mirex, but it doesn't matter. Alright, alright. I mean, we have exactly 9 damage on board, so if they cannot block and we draw removal, that is already good enough. And we have Menace on Harvester, so it's extremely good clock. And if Harvester will win another game, I would just laugh. And I guess we go Overlord. Yeah, we swing here. Okay, I have idea. We won. I think we won. So they will try to block Biza. Harvester goes through. Then we play Overlord. We cycle the last cards. I didn't see a single Jace so far, and they used all of the cards, so they are not keeping up anything. So I will risk going to 15. Because that means on the next turn I can play Zur into haste effect basically and kill them. Even if they sweep the board. They will probably make a blocker, but with the extra cards we should hit something to remove it. Oh, that's not something you probably want to do. Alright, here's our stuff to remove it. Alright, I want to play Lockdown on this turn. Okay, I think we actually don't have time to play this. It could be so good though. It's 3, 2, and 2 on the next turn, if we play it now, right now. Maybe we get rid of Zur. Okay, let's go like this so they don't sit, and hopefully it will catch them off guard. With this we prevent the extra card from the Fountain Port. We also have another one, and this is also a setup for Zur on the next turn. Yeah, I think we will win with this. Even if they have Sunfall right now, I think this should be close to enough. Yeah, let's take it. We don't have too many cards, so we need to use it. Man, what a game. I didn't expect this will go so hard. One random card, and that's it. They have some options with Fountain Port, but if they draw cards, they have like half of their mana, so they cannot do anything else, even if they draw the card. Realm Breaker. Alright, so that's your Jace. Well, that was cool, man. I'm kinda happy they used this instead of Jace, because I took the risk. I drew those 2 extra cards, and I risked that if they top deck Jace, I might be in some serious trouble. So they can mirror our top card from the library, but they cannot do much more. They only have 2 blockers, so they can make Fountain Port token and Anchorage, but that means they cannot block Biza. And we also have Zur that can reanimate this and reanimate this, so we have basically 4 attackers on the next turn, and that's why we went for 7 mana, so we go 3 and 2 and 2. Oh my god, I cannot believe we won this. Alright, we are going second, we have some lockdowns. This could be a harsh hand, but let's see it. Mountain, huh? That's a mountain. We need black mana on turn 2, so let's go with this one. I will take go for the throat because I see mountain. And I mean, well, this is some Boros action if I've ever seen one. Let's keep them at bay, because they're on the play, I think. That means we can just keep going 1 for 1. Oh, it's Swayze. Alright. Alright, that's a cool one. I think we go with the top land still. Oh boy, I need double white, right? So this has to be the one. Then we can play Biza on the next turn. We want to keep up... we don't need this one. We want to keep up Go for the Throat, in case this gets pumped, and it probably will. And then we need to get some good value. This at least goes around Hexproof, so they cannot protect the hero. Hero alone is not enough damage. So this will be tricky, but I think we can win this. Alright. Oh boy, I think we need to take it. I think we need to take it. Because I need them to tap even more. So I think there's protection spell in the hand. So if I try to kill this, they just cast it. And I need to get lockdown value. Alright, no greed. No greed. Well played, well played. I think we have to do it at the end step. Alright, there's something. You can clearly tell there's something. So what is their best play? I guess lockdown just goes around everything. You know what? I think lockdown should do it. So let's not waste the card. I'm kinda scared, but I think I cannot think of a card that prevents display in their whole deck. Yep, I think they have the hexproof effect. So now we can set up the Backstreet. Yeah, let's take it. We just need a lot of removal. We have another lockdown, and with Zur we should be able to set up the game fully. I'm not activating lockdown yet. I can live game. Yep, that's it. Just kill the creatures, and that's enough. Alright, well played. Opponent is going first, let's see it. Definitely not super happy about being on the draw with 0 removal spells, but we need to work with it, you know? This is our only black mana. Listen, I appreciate lands, but it's great to have, you know, instant spells in the deck, except the lands. We can set up nicely. Alright, so our opponent is setting up for the talents. Sure. This will be a harsh game, but maybe we can make it work. Do we want to be greedy? The answer is always yes. I don't think we'll hit anything, but we might maybe try. Alright, 3 lands and 1 removal, so that's actually a very good self-mill. This really helped, because we would get flooded to absolute oblivion in this game. Alright, some rabbits. And don't forget the Overlord is also impending, right? Alright. So, is that the time for the Overlord? I really think it is. I really think it... Alright. A little bit different plan. That's not what I meant. I thought I have double bloom and I didn't really pay attention. So it's okay. In that case, we should absolutely play one of those and not play Zur, and then go for 3 mana play here or 4 mana play here. But we should have enough time. Oh, they actually didn't go for removal? What? This is kinda huge. Okay, what happens if I do this? Oh, and we should probably surveil first, because we can actually hit a creature. This is not something we need right now. Listen, I'll take it. They have Death Touch, but I do not mind. We got potentially more value. As you can see, let's go for Zur. Because that means that we can continue the cycle, and we traded card for card, and you can say, well, this is our 5-drop. Well, not really. We paid 2 mana and 2 for animation, and we live gained a lot. And our opponent lost his big creature. They definitely, like, whenever you see this, you know this is a key card for the deck. Especially that it's understated, so you need to get this value from interactions. Alright, so... I honestly think we could go Biza here. Can we get enough cards? Probably not. But we are getting the tokens, and that means we can use them to fuel Lich-Knights Conquest. Should I read what the card on our opponent's side does? Probably not. I'll take it. We can do a lot with this. And they probably want to try to attack at some point. Like, I think our deck is stronger. Okay, this will give them so much value. Alright, that's the fish. That's the fish. Alright. I really think we should go with the Overlord here. And we can already reanimate it if we want. That should be a decent value. And maybe we can start hitting some good stuff. Well, definitely not a good stuff here. I guess this is a little bit better to discard. Let's go like this maybe. It doesn't have haste, right? So we cannot attack on this turn. We could attack with Biza, which is something I probably want to do. So he will pump. And we can block with this. This will be a 5-5. And we can block one of them. Alright, let's go like this. Oh no, never mind. Forgot about 2-4. Because every token will be a 3-3 on the next turn, however it will cost them the full turn. I think they will be greedy and they will go for it. We can get some good trades anyway, and with lifelink we should be able to go around it. Alright, they are not going for the play. I guess good for them. Flying. Oh boy, flying is pretty brutal. Alright, extra card. Man, Caretaker's talent is carrying so many decks right now. They will draw probably like 10 to 15 cards during the game with this one. Alright, they might be thinking about removal. So let's go with this, so we can prepare. They cannot remove it because they need to target Zur. And, yep. And now we can play another one to give the death touch anyway. Sure, they will get so much value from this, truth to be told. Let's play the land for the turn. Well, oh my god, this is the game. Guys, this is the game. So, okay, let's do it in the best way. We go with this guy. A lockdown. I didn't want to show this. I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright. So, we have to play Zur. No. This cannot block alone. Okay, so we are going with this play. A little bit different than I expected, but let's just go with this. Yep, that helps a lot. And we can show lockdown. I really think we should here. Yeah, let's go with the Overlord, because we can reanimate it later. And it gets the counter permanently. We draw more cards. And we are staying defensive. Bitter Triumph is so nice. Man, every one of those cards is so nice. I think I will get rid of Zur, just because of how little enchantments we have right now. And we can get more. Oh, it's still impending, by the way. This is such a weird interaction. Alright, they need to do some real magic, because Caretaker's talent might be too slow and too weak for them. And with by the way, whenever we lose Harvester of Misery, we can reanimate it again, and we can keep chaining this -2 effect over and over. That's why it's in the deck. It's cool. Alright, 4 cards. I'm not sure who will win. Is that all you've got? I mean, we have a little bit more. Oh boy. I don't think we can mill him, so he will actually get a huge advantage from this. It slows him down, but he basically paid 4 mana for a 4/4 with the talent, because the chapter 2 or level 2 is so efficient with this card. But I think we can manage, right? We have lockdown. It only kills our opponent's creatures. Yeah, I think we can start really pressuring them super hard. I'm not using map token, I need all my mana on this turn. Don't you worry, you will like it, my friend. We pay 3. Oh, they're not happy about the game plan. Oh, look at all these. Well, this is all we've got. But to be honest, we have even more. Let's do some more. Oh, they are not very happy. So let's go with this guy, because we can start reanimating it on the next turn. I think this won't stop. I actually find it so hilarious that we will continue. And Zur can keep reanimating over and over and over. And we can even go for the conquest whenever they are not removing our cool creatures, so we don't even need to. They need to defend against this. They cannot level up because it's too slow. They already used all of the value from this. Alright. Exile effect is not perfect, but we will work with it. 2 new extra cards, and they only got Rabbit, and this was one of their best cards. However, with the talent, they can actually get so much fuel, so as long as they don't die, they are okay. They just cannot be wasteful, basically. And I think this is just a little bit too much. Here we go. We will make sure that you aren't, sneezing too long, my friend. Alright, I honestly found it super entertaining, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was super scary because we actually out-tempoed them with all the extra value from Zur. Alright, we're going on the play, which is crazy, and we actually have room. Oh my god. Alright. I think we should be fine. We already have our wincon, we just need to get the fodder. No, show me them. I can sense a mountain from a mile away. We're taking Biza because it's good value. Show me. I know there's a mountain. Oh my god, that's not a mountain. Alright. We don't need 2 mana removal, like we should be fine. However, against control, our hand is much weaker. Alright. This could be hit by a lockdown, and honestly, I think this is the best value we will get from this. They really want to start doing it as soon as possible. And yeah, we could also wait with this until they flip, but then they might have counters first, so I don't think it's worth it. That is a big problem. We need to go with Biza. Biza will get countered, and we are left with not much. Maybe we can go with Anchorage, make some artifacts and sacrifice them. Oh, they actually went with draw a card. Okay, I'm super happy with this one. This means we are getting something ahead. Okay, that was insane important. I really think they should counter. However, we don't know the rest of the cards. Nowhere to run. Okay, and Virtue? Disfigure, alright. Whenever they go 2 for 1, you know you are in for a very good trade, basically. We could go for Harvester. This doesn't draw cards, so I think the Harvester is just simply better. It's a solid card. It's a 5-4. If they remove this with 2 different cards, that means they cannot remove this, and this will be a lethal threat. They need to top deck something that removes this. They have Annex, but they cannot replay it right now. Alright. I will absolutely take Jace. They can survive 1 extra turn. However, we will go with Anchorage. Just a little bit scary because they have removal, like this figure. Maybe they have cutdowns. What? Oh my god, I don't have the mana. I need to tap the Anchorage to use the Anchorage. That's huge. That is really bad for us. Alright, Shuffler, you got your dirty tricks. Well, that changes the game, because that means Jace will survive. Alright, you know what, I'll take it. How many cards? Okay, so no, not 3. Moment, I'm just thinking about everything. Fountain Port is such a good card. I'll take it. I should not probably, but I'll take it. Alright, so this changes a lot because then they draw a card. However, on the next turn we can go Anchorage into Harvester, and that should be enough to... Well, it will be at 1 loyalty, I guess. But then we can go Fountain Port and create nothing. We'll be 1 mana short. Man, what an awkward game. Definitely helping them a lot with this Jace. Alright, I actually don't mind losing Fountain Port. It was a decent draw, but it wasn't like absolute banger. I can draw something else, especially if that means dealing 2 damage to Jace. So I think we now need to force a removal with this. Our stuff has menace, so we actually can play. Okay, this is, I guess, okay draw. That means we have 3... I guess it doesn't make a difference. And we need to get rid of this Jace. Here it is. Here it is. I'll take the mana, but it won't be needed probably. Alright, we have menace on this. So they actually need to kill it right now with the last card. Nope. You don't have enough mana, and even if you had, you cannot block this. And we also have Go for the Throat. Alright, this is a huge problem that just got solved. This Jace was the pain for their last 3 turns. And they only have 1 card right now. So we are slowly outvaluing them because they have very low impact removal, and we have quite a lot of powerful creatures. And we can start getting Overlords soon. Alright, this is interesting. We could sacrifice and get some other creatures, but first we want to attack. I think they don't realize we have menace on this. So they might activate? No. I still probably want to keep the mana. We go with Zur because it's actually quite a lot of mana. And if they remove something, they will remove Harvester, not Zur. So the only punish is Deadly Cover-Up. Well, I guess this is a little bit of punish. Do we want to flip it? They get Treasure Map then. They can absolutely kill. I don't think it's worth it. I want them to activate the Reef, and then we kill it, and then they don't have too many options. And this Harvester is pressuring super hard. It's kinda unfortunate that we have more stuff than them. Because we cannot draw cards with Biza. See, I told you they don't know about it. I told you, they think that we don't have manners. Sure. I don't want to be mean, so I'm not doing anything, but that was fun. Alright, so let's go for this guy. We waited for display. Well, this hits non-land, so I guess it wouldn't matter. And I think it's Overlord. I actually don't mind impending because it gives Conquest a little bit better target. And I just need good targets here. I will go with the lockdown. I think the lockdown already did the job. Yeah, like we cannot make tokens with this because they have no board, they have no cards, so we cannot draw cards. Like, we are so far ahead that we are actually suffering from it. And that should be extremely harsh for our opponent because they need to remove this and then the game only starts. I'm getting this guy. We are kinda limited on blue mana here, so we just make sure that we can keep using double blue spells for future. And this is okay, you know. Let's actually get rid of... Well, I mean, all of those cards are amazing. All of them. Because we have 7 mana soon, and we can hard cast it, making another threat that probably Dimir cannot answer. Yeah, I think this should be game. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, alright. I can respect that. So that's the Excruciator version. We have Menace. Do we have some cool stuff here? Okay, look at this. Oh, we don't have mana. We don't have mana, actually. Alright, so we just full swing. I hoped for some epic end, but Menace, as you can see, Menace does a lot of difference in this kind of situations. Alright, our opponent is going first. We have wrong mana to cast Lockdown. Let's go, let's go. With double Surveillant, I think we should be able to, you know, get into our last white mana. And that should give us enough time to play our big stuff. And, you know, worst case, we can always play the Overlord and see what we get there. In the graveyard, it's still okay. We can take it back later with some, you know, reanimation effects. Alright, what are you? Hall Creeper. Something will creep. Or maybe it won't. This is a good draw, not gonna lie, this is a decent draw. Because we really don't want this to hit us, because that redraws the cards instantly. And against our type of deck, this card doesn't have drawbacks because 1/1 or 3/3 doesn't matter. It still dies to the same card, so for them it's actually extremely good. Still, it's way weaker if you are playing it against other creature decks because your stats are just very, very weak. This is kind of perfect turn. Let's go with the Overlord and see, maybe we can hit something, but even if we don't, it's just worth the setup. And it might get countered. It seems that it will get countered. So that's fine, that's fine. We can get rid of one Zur, but probably the second one needs to stick. Oh, alright, that's interesting. Alright, we get Biza, nice, nice, this is a hit. And our opponent knows what this... Yeah, they look at the card, and now they know. And now it's like, oh, the moment of realization, what exactly is happening in this game. We have a land, we probably want to hit more. So we are on our way to just, you know, slowly grind some advantage. However, our opponent is down to 4 cards. This seems to be a very aggressive deck. Like, Droner is not doing too much for them, right? Oh, no, Kaito! Alright, alright, you will get your Kaito. That's pretty brutal. Oh, I hope they won't do it, because I cannot play Biza. But unfortunately, they don't know about it, that we are mana screwed, kinda. This is extremely strong. I can do a lot against everything, but a Planeswalker that instantly draws cards is probably like my biggest bane. Alright. That means we kinda need to work for it. I'll actually take it. It's not exactly the land I wanted, but we have 2 different creatures. Oh, for some reason I thought it was on 1. Well, this is something they want to kill. They can tap it and they can shuffle it, so we know that even in the worst case they can answer it. The problem is that we will go equally every single turn. However, they will every turn hit with Kaito, drawing extra card, and this is what will give them the advantage over time. Alright, pretty smart, very tempo efficient. That probably means they want to play something more on this turn, right? You use this tempo to get Alright, if that's the play, I'm actually okay with it. Like, we have a lot of life linkers, we have Biza, we actually do not mind it at all. We won't draw a card, and we won't draw a creature, but I think it's still worth it. Let's play like this and get counterspelled. Then we play the archive, and we see what happens then. I mean, when we have Zur, we can instantly hit with something. That's fine, that's expected. That's why we are playing stuff on this turn, because we need to set up 5 mana for Zur into the next play. We don't want this. We need something better. We have Planeswalker removal, but we probably cannot count on that. Alright, I mean 2 cards, and that's it. If they want to go for the damage with Kaito, it's even less cards. So, if they... Okay, they are just going for it. This is only 10 damage, that's not enough. I'm interested by this decision making, because I think this is not enough to kill us, and I think they should realize this. Maybe they don't know how Overlords work, or maybe they counted a little bit more optimistically, or maybe they have something, I'm not sure. They are still drawing cards. Man, if not Kaito, this game would be over like 3 turns ago. Like, they got basically their full hand out of Kaito. Alright, one of the cards is a land, that's nice. We have to play like this. However, that means we are starting to farm some good value. We go for this guy because it has the highest converted mana cost, don't forget this is how it works. And we can still go like this. That's Biza. I mean, we have both, so that's awkward. And we will get the lifelink. They should absolutely defend Kaito, like there's no question about it. This is the only card that actually matters in this game, and if not Kaito, they would be out of the game already. So they can tap Zur, but that's enough, right? Because they can attack with Reef. But they need to attack with both of them, right? One of the creatures is not enough to win the game, so they can tap this, activate. Well, I guess they can just activate Reef, right? Now they cannot go for it unless they have untapped land. Alright, I think they messed it up a little bit. Because in the end, I guess we were forced to attack with this and we couldn't kill Kaito because of the Drowner. And that keeps it afloat. Maybe they want to pump it. Cavern Bat doesn't matter too much, they probably need to take Lockdown. And Lockdown only hits their stuff, so they kinda need to go for this decision. I honestly think they messed up. If they went with Reef and Kaito, that should be enough damage. They minus to Kaito, tap this, and swing for 8, and we are at 7. So that was a missed lethal, I believe. But to be fair, Kaito is... Man, if not this card, like their whole deck completely doesn't matter. This is the only card that is playing, basically. And I think we'll win with this misplay. They might kill Zur, because they have 2 mana. But they need to kill Zur, because this one has hexproof. Alright, interesting. Yeah, told you. That was the weirdest game ever. But I have to say, Kaito did so much, it actually single-handedly carried the whole game for them. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed. We had a lot of games today, so I'll be honest, I'm a little bit tired. I will try to make this outro pretty concise, contrary to the usual, so you will see stats for this one. They might surprise you a little bit, and yeah, for this deck I really liked it. Like, man, this has so much synergy. Like, with Lich-Knights Conquest you can do so many interesting plays, and that's why we have Fountain Port, even though we are 3-color deck, so I know, I'm stretching it, but I really think this option of making some tokens fish and then using them to get Overlord, like, how could I not do it? We didn't showcase it, but Nowhere to Run is also enchantment, which means you can remove a creature and then use it to fuel this. And honestly, I think you should be playing 3 of them, but I tried version with 3 of them and I never could draw it in a single game. And then I said, alright, we're going 4 of them, maybe then I will draw them. And we did, so it kinda worked. But honestly, I would go 3 Conquest and 4 Nowhere to Run, because that's more balanced build, and even if you don't draw it, the deck is super strong mid-range, like you have insane value with those overlords, so it's not like you're, you know, losing the game, but I wanted to showcase you the interaction, so we went 4-off. Alright, that was long intro to a short outro. So guys, before we talk with the rest, a huge thank you to our amazing patrons. Thank you guys for supporting the channel and making a difference, and yeah, continuing to support non-aggro gameplay on ladder. So we are trying to be creative, and I think we're doing a decent job, honestly. So with this deck, you have so many interactions. Don't forget, you can also use those Overlord insects. Those are tokens, so that means even if they remove Overlord, you can instantly play Conquest and get those 2 moths into Overlord, into like Overlord or Biza or something, whatever fits you. Or just go for this Overlord, which brings you another creature like Zur and Biza. So you have a lot of small value baked into this deck. Like you have so much more than you think when you start using those small interactions. And you can sacrifice, of course, every token for Fountain Port as well. We could also, instead of go for the road, go get lost and start killing our own stuff, because then we get map tokens that fuel Conquest. But I think it's not worth the drawback. Most of the time you'll still hit your opponent's creatures. We don't have this luxury of using, you know, removal on ourselves. And the cool part, most of the time Lockdown is like a dead card against control, right? Well, here not really. You can play them into the board, and when Zur enters, they become a 3/3. You know, it's not game deciding, but I'll tell you, if your opponent has no removal and you are animate 2 lockdowns, I mean, they will win you the game, especially that they have lifelink with Zur. So a pretty niche interaction that gives you some second life to your dead cards, and of course the Overlord's absolute like meat of the deck. And with this Overlord, we can actually hit Zur and Biza, so we actually can go 7 Zurs during the game. Not even talking about Lich Conquest that can get Zur back as well with, you know, tokens, stuff like this. With Surveillant, we can hit, you know, creatures in the graveyard, so we can get them back with this or this. And yeah, I mean, deck is full of deck is full of interactions. I liked it. And now stats, because I forgot I mentioned. We went exactly 5 wins, 5 losses. And you know what? For a very fun off-meta build like this, I'll take it. This is good enough. That means you can keep playing Mythic. And I'll be honest, I think we're on extremely bad draws in most of the games. Like some of the games were just me straight up not drawing blue mana for like, what, 15 turns? So I think it should be even higher if we are, you know, on average. So that's a good sign. I'll take it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you tomorrow.